Welcome everyone from all around the world. We wanted to welcome you to our first Team Builders Global webinar for the year. So Alan, I'll just get you to mute your audio. Everybody, all the panelists, if you could mute your audio, that would be fantastic. And just unmute when you're ready to join with us.
Now it might be yours. I think we get a little bit of feedback, particularly if you've got two devices going.
There you go. I just muted you, Mal. Okay, we'll start again. Thanks for joining us from everywhere around the world today. We're excited, the beginning of a new year. We have some special guests that we're interviewing today or having a chat with who are the upline, well, who are diamonds in our team. And we're going to be hearing what they've got in mind for the year, and they're going to talk a little bit about our very special Envision event that's coming up shortly here in Australia as well. So as the theme for us this year is the year of thinking big. So we're putting that out there because in order to be more, we need to think bigger. And in order to attract and manifest into our lives what we desire, we need to get in tune with what it is that we're actually wanting to manifest. So the year of thinking big is definitely our theme for this year. So let's just run through the agenda quickly. So as always, we start with recognition, rank advancements, special recognition, as well as the placements of people for Ascent right now in our team, and Fast Forward Plus and Fast Forward Achievers. So here's a lineup of the guests that are going to be having a chat and participating today. We're really excited to have this many of our diamonds on the webinar at the one time. So we really are looking forward to what they have to say. Then we're just going to briefly cover promotions, incentives, and then upcoming team events, so you can all stay plugged in so that you know what's going on in Australia and around the world. So as always, we start with the recognition, as I mentioned. So I wanted to firstly congratulate all the new directors in our team as well. And we've got the data today. I've pulled it for this year only because I had a challenge in our virtual office with recognition reports last year. So this is from the 1st of January moving forward. So here are all the new Director 300s in January so far. So big congratulations.
Yeah.
And please, if you see anybody whose name's listed here in your team, reach out and congratulate them for being featured on today's webinar.
Yeah, Director 300 is such an important level, because if you can just duplicate helping people achieve the Director 300 level, you can literally take this compensation plan all the way to the top. It is a very significant level. So for all those people who achieve Director 300, we'd love to really acknowledge you, and I know all the other diamonds on the panelists would love to recognize and acknowledge you as well. So it's a fantastic accomplishment. Well done, everybody.
Congratulations, Director 300.
Yeah.
Now we move into new Director 700s in our organisation as well. So congratulations, all Director 700s.
So Director 700, you've done, to achieve this, you've got 700 points on your left side, 700 points on your right side, definitely moving your business forward. And it's pretty significant to see. In fact, we got an update on the income disclosure statement, and you can actually achieve some pretty significant income just by starting your business at Director 300, Director 700. I was kind of surprised to see how those had increased.
Since the last figures that were pulled by corporate back in 2014.
Yeah,
so that data, by the way, if you would like to look at the new income disclosure statement, it's in the virtual office library underneath business. It's in forms. So yeah, encourage you to look at that.
Obviously, you're changing lives, helping people physically, and helping them to see some possibilities for their future as well as you're building your team and moving forward. So this is the bronze rank. Bronze is doing 2,000 points on your left side, 2,000 points on your right side, and also that you have two legs that are, at least two legs that are at Director 300 that you've helped to sponsor. So congratulations. This is a massive achievement. It's the first level of the executive level. So huge congratulations to the bronzes.
The EMP bonus for the executive momentum pool kicks in at the bronze executive level as well. So that's very lucrative and very rewarding. So silver executives?
Similar to bronze, except for 3,000 points on the left side, 3,000 points on the right side of your business. And at this level, you've also helped at least 3 people, 3 legs of your business achieve Director 300. So you're helping to expand your team, helping to grow that. again, it's interesting to look at the income disclosure statement and see how you're rewarded for that as well. And again, changing lives. So congratulations to the new silvers. It's a fantastic achievement. Everybody. Well done.
And then we have a triple diamond that Dan Ming Chen or Tina Chen from the United States, who rank advanced in January. So we're very, very excited for Tina. And she's an amazing woman. She's achieved these results in record time. Dan, do you know more about Tina's rise to triple diamond?
Yeah, no, she got to the diamond levels pretty quick actually, but I think there was weather havoc that slowed her down a bit. That was the only thing that slowed her down physically getting around over in New York. She's our highest rank in your team and our team outside of Australia. So we're really proud of what she's achieved, and she's achieved in a short period of time. It's only been, I think, just over a year. So well done, Tina.
Yeah, she was recognized. In fact, she just hit that level when she was at the Envision in the United States. So just in time to recognize her publicly at that event as well. I reached out to her last night and wasn't able to. We wanted to hear from her personally, but I wasn't able to get a hold of her. So anyway, we definitely want to recognize Tina Deming Chang. So
absolutely,
congratulations. That's a massive accomplishment.
Keeping in mind too, the executive rank advancements in Australia this month are really amazing, given that, as everybody knows, globally Australia shuts down pretty much the last few weeks in December and all of January. So well done for all of you who rank advanced, particularly in the executive levels and in the Director 300, 700 levels as well through that period of time. So this is the fun part also, where we get to recognise top associate enrollers throughout Australia for the last 4 weeks as well. So you can see the name here for week 1. So congratulations all the top associate enrollers for week 1 and week 2 as well. Congratulations to all of you. And week 3, you can see some of the same names that are listed. These are people who are really working, they haven't slowed down. So congratulations. And congratulations to everybody for week 4 in January as well. Well done. Really excited for all of you. Top emerging leaders. So this is a very special honour as well. And at our Envision event, corporate will be honouring everybody in these special categories on stage as well for the for the yearly figures. So week 1 and week 2, congratulations everybody.
I love this level because, or this category award, because you're helping your team to grow. You're really showing your leadership skills as you're helping your team expand. So here's week 3 and week 4. Again, a huge congratulations for people that have achieved this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
recognition.
And Autoship All-Stars. So we've got a great lineup of people who are building. There you go, Julie. Don't know if you knew you were number 1 in week 2.
And Winnie, number 2 is
and
pretty.
Winnie, that's right, number 2. And Mal, number 5, and Dan's there. So congratulations to everybody with this category, because it really shows that you've got a sustainable business. Week 3 as well, there's Julie and Mal and Dan. And again, week 4, we've got Dan and Winnie, and we've got Julia Wesley there from the Blue Mountains, and Mal Sword as well. So congratulations to all of you. We've got Jeanette down there from Sydney at number 7 in week 3. So to all of you, we're very excited about what you're building.
Yeah, I wish we had time to read through all the names on these different awards, but for the sake of time, we've just got them on the slide here. Here we are.
Top EMP earners. So we're really excited for these people who are maximising the executive momentum pool. It's very lucrative. And it's a lot of fun to see this bonus in your bank account.
That's a fantastic bonus.
Smart wallet, yeah, it is. So congratulations to all of you who are earning top 10 EMP bonus throughout Australia. So we've got Dr. John Moore, who achieved Fast Forward Plus in January. So you can see listed down below what it is that he actually gets as a reward or a bonus for being able to do the Fast Forward Plus, achieving that.
So John, if you're listening in, congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's a massive achievement.
Just want to say that's a huge achievement. It's January, that is our quietest time of year. So that's really well done.
It is, and John's up here in the Sunshine Coast. So yeah, he definitely got after it. So thanks, Dan.
Yep. So fast forward, this is the accomplishment. And you know, guys, the fast forward plus. So in order to do this, you've got to enroll eight new associates in 14 days, create at least 1,200 points. Each new associate needs to have an enrollment order of at least 100 points, and they also need to be enrolled with the auto ship program set up. So this is a perfect model for creating and building momentum in your business. So the year of thinking big is the motto for this year. I'll tell you what, if you just consistently worked on fast forwards, or even better yet, fast forward plus, your business will absolutely expand, and you're going to get a lot of additional benefits from the company for being rewarded for doing that quickly.
And many of you on the line have done consecutive fast forwards, and the benefits are obviously outside of the volume. The free product is really fun. So, and the loyalty rewards as well, which we absolutely love getting the loyalty rewards program. So fast forward achievers, we've got Jeanette and Sung Ho Cho as Sung Hu Cho. So congratulations for these two associates in January. Well done. Congratulations on what you've received in cash and products as well. And in terms of, I mustn't have had the other slide put in, but in terms of achieving the fast forward itself.
So the fast forward, this is sponsoring 4 new people in the 2-week period of time and achieving 800 points. Again, everyone has to be enrolled with an auto ship template and at least 100 points. And so again, it's the perfect model for duplicating your business and creating a sustainable business as well. So it's a perfect model to go with. Absolutely recommend this fast forward incentive. It's really good.
It's for preferred customers as well.
That's right.
So we're going to have a look at current Ascent earners right now, because Cancun is an amazing destination. You can see that the trip is June 11th to the 15th, that we've only got 1 month left, just less than 1 month left in the qualification period. And you can see the eligible ranks of bronze, platinum and new diamonds. And so far in the team, we've got some second place achievers right now, which is very exciting for them. And we've got some third place achievers on the list. And I know Julie Watts, she took out first place for Ascent as well in last year. Is that last year, Julie? The time's gone by fast. I think it might have been. And so Julie knows firsthand how exciting this incentive is, and maybe the Diamonds will touch on that today when it comes to how important this is to schedule it in and make it happen each year, because it's a yearly run event right now, which we're really honoured and privileged to have access to. So what we'd like to do now is switch over to hear some words of wisdom for our Ambassador Triple Diamond, Dan Doyle, who we're excited to get on the line, because you know everyone knows how busy he is, but he's always there to share with us what he knows, where he's going, and we'll hand the time over to you, Dan. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no, thank you. Wow. You know, this business, things evolve. Everything evolves with what we're doing. We're learning all the time. We're learning new methods of how we can reach out to people, talk to people, bring people on board, keep people involved and active, make sure they get product experience. So things are moving all the time. I think it's the beginning of the new year. For me, there was things I didn't achieve last year. There were goals I didn't achieve because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And for me, it's the first time I've never achieved goals. And it was just a real kick in my backside. And, you know, prior to that, I didn't believe in setting goals either. So prior to actually coming into this business, but doing that now, that's very, very important. So what I'm looking at this year, I mean, this is for me mentally, is to look at every single day like it's the start of the new year. And if I'm doing that, I'm keeping up the activity, and hopefully that's going to give me the traction and momentum to help me achieve my goals this year. So, you know, we're already into February. I mean, the year's absolutely flying. January's gone, and, you know, sometimes people get a little bit complacent this time of year. Sometimes they're thinking, wow, well, my New Year's resolutions are already out the door, and they could give up on what they want to achieve for the year. So my advice, my suggestions would be to keep writing down your goals every day, especially when you're in a mood or a state of mind where you think things aren't moving forward as well as what you want to. So write down those goals each day, reassess them. If you're in a place that you don't want to be, make sure that you write them down again and have a look at where you're going, and don't let go of your dreams. You guys got me okay still? Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Cool. Yeah. So so it's important to I think, as far as discipline's concerned, and I said every time I talk to anybody or we do these calls, I'm actually talking for my benefit, and hopefully as a result of what I'm saying, it's going to help other people. But I'm going to look at every day like it's the new year, and I just want to make sure that I don't waste any time. There's no time, at the beginning of this business, the first year, 2, 3, 4 years, to be sitting down and watching TV and relaxing, because for me, if I'm doing that, if I'm wasting any time, I know we could be losing people out there. And I've spoken about losing people. Losing people could be losing them to another network with a product that can't do what our products do. Losing people could be losing people to somebody else in our business that doesn't have the experience that we have, that can help them get the product experience that they want. Or losing them could be the worst case scenario. So just have a look at the time and the effort that you're putting in this year. Don't think because we're getting into the year now or halfway through the year that the year's over. Just keep focused and make sure that you're doing things to have the discipline to be able to get the job done. We spoke earlier in the year about rituals. It's important to make sure you have a daily ritual. Make sure when you get up, you know what you're going to do on the day. So your daily calendar, your daily planner, your diary should be full the next day of where you're going and what you want to do. Worst case scenario, the first thing you got to do when you get out of bed, just get up and have a shower, and have breakfast and start your day. You've got to start moving. You have to start doing something. But your daily activity, guys, should be full of three-way calls with your upline or with your downline. That's the bulk of our business. Make sure this year that you're plugging everybody into these types of calls, into our webinars, into our training, into the meetings. In particular, and it's not too late, Envision is upon us. So we're going to the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks. To us, this is the second biggest event on the calendar. We've obviously got the equivalent events over in Europe, in Barcelona, and we just had the one in the US in Salt Lake City. So it's not too late for you to come to Envision. If you're not coming and you haven't got a really good excuse, I would say that you're not serious about building this business. And I don't think that's the case for you guys on this call because you're on here. But do whatever it takes to get to that event and make sure that you're reaching out to your team, because don't think of just yourself personally. Reach out to your whole team to get them to the event, because your business will look totally different between now and the end of the year if you do that. So I'm not going to take up any more time because we've got a lot of great diamond speakers on this call. I'm going to hand over back to you guys. But I just want to say, guys, have a great year. It's the beginning of 2019, and do not regret where you are this time next year.
Dan, I like what you said about every day, you treat every day like it's the beginning of a new year, that you've always created a sense of urgency. And the thing that I really like also what you do is every day you actively use your planner. You set up, what your plan is, what your schedule is for the next day, so that you're on top of it, you're focused. And I think that I just encourage everybody, I hope you've got a pen and paper, because there's going to be some really valuable nuggets that you want to grab from this. And the other thing you said, if you're not coming to Envision, you're probably not serious about your business. It is so important not only to be there, but to get so many of your people there. So just before we turn it over to someone else, you want to share with us kind of what your thoughts and plans are in terms of the momentum for this year, moving things forward, and any goals that you've got for 2019
that he wants to publicly share?
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My goal last year was to get to presidential diamond by the 31st of December, and that didn't happen. And I'm months behind that goal, but this year I'm definitely going to achieve that. And obviously, we don't want to just set the bar there. So I do want to set the goal for presidential double by the end of the year. And what the heck, let's go triple. So, you know, I'm doing everything I can to help. You know, Danny Robinson talks about running with the runners. You know, the people that are actually doing this, the guys that are active, those hotspots around the world. I'm going to be working with those people. The big thing that I've got to keep telling myself, and you guys really do too, is make sure you work out the difference between being busy and productive. A lot of people, and I get, you know, I get diverted too, and I'm in a situation where I'm busy. But, you know, so I just practice what I preach and tell myself, listen, I'm not making money now, so the product's not getting into people's hands. And if the product's not getting into people's hands, we're losing people. So I switch that off and turn straight into production mode. So I, you know, whether it be in a conversation that I'm with somebody and that time isn't being productive, I just politely say, you know, I've got to jump on another call. I've got something else coming up. And then move straight to some sort of activity, because our time's precious. I mean, we only have one life. We're not here for a long time. We know what we've got our hands on. We know how big this breakthrough is. So I think if we keep that productivity up, if we keep the activity up, if we keep in that frame of mind, you know, every day. I mean, my diary's booked out literally for months and months and months in advance. I mean, the guys on this call knows how hard it is for me to squeeze things in, but, you know, obviously there's critical things that come up and I make room. So really excited about Envision. That's, you know, I would say that's the start of our year, but my year started a week before Christmas last year. I've had my foot to the floor. I've been really proud of, you know, the effort and time I put in this year, to be honest. Well, let me know when you got me back. Got me?
Yeah.
Got you back.
Yeah.
Really happy with what I've been doing, you know, since the week before Christmas. I haven't stopped. Proud to say I haven't had one alcoholic drink, and I love a red wine. But that's how serious I am this year about making sure I don't waste any time and utilize every second possible. Yeah,
that's great, Dan. I know that you're out doing your power walks and doing phone calls at the same time, so you're multitasking and you know, looking after your health and your business all at the same time. So hey, thanks. We'll bring you back in at the end for a few comments as well. Thanks for those incredible words of advice. Now,
and for being such an example to all of us, Dan. So you know, we are all. I don't know if people realise, but to set a goal for the presidential ranks, it's just not going from bronze to silver or to gold or to platinum. It is an entirely different scenario when you look at the comp plan. So it is an absolutely gigantic goal. But if anyone can do it, Dan Doyle can. So yeah, thank you, Dan.
I believe everyone in this call can do it too. If I can do it, anybody can do it, to be honest.
Right, good point.
those are massive leaps. But I love how you just made the decision that that's where you're going. So you've made room for everybody to be part of your team. And that's something I would encourage everybody to do too. Set your goals big, think big, because the bigger your goals are, the easier it is for other people to become a part of them. So it's great.
I think people forget, you know, they're looking at bringing people on, but they don't, they forget to bring their team through. You know, they need to help their team rank advance, and they need to help their team to success. And I think that's been a big part of what I do, digging to depth and doing that regardless of who is in my organisation and where they are. Yeah,
excellent.
Thank you, Dan. I know, David, we'll go to you just shortly. Matt Williams is on the line from the US. We know that Matt is very excited, having just gone to the Envision event in the US. So I know, Matt, I hadn't asked you this ahead of time, but do you mind sharing with us what your thoughts were at that event? Just a little bit about who you are, where you're living, and what you got from as takeaways from the Envision event. So thanks, Matt. You just need to unmute. I'll unmute you. There you go. You're good.
Perfect. So my name's Matt Williams. I'm married to Cristina. I'm in the US. I'm out of Arizona. As Bart and Melissa just said, I went to the Envision 2 weeks ago. Absolutely unbelievable event. Tyler Norton's ethos training he just made me fall in love with the company even more. He talks about corporations having a soul and what the soul of ASEA is. There's an EPC formula he talks about, which is keeping your ego in check. So your principles can lead to results. Obviously, keeping your principles higher than your ego or your economic wishes. He talks about goals. The good thing, though, is you hear from a lot of the other executives who you really don't get the personal feeling from. And you learn a little bit more about them. It just makes you more engaged with ASEA and where the company's going as well. Just absolutely made me fall in love with ASEA even more.
Yeah, thanks for that. I remember just shortly after I got involved, coincidentally, I was in the States and they just had an Envision conference that was happening at that time. And I remember sitting there in the audience listening to Tyler. And I hope this doesn't sound corny, but I was really having a hard time holding back the tears because I just felt so inspired, and I felt like, you know, this was a purpose, a mission, a vision that I really wanted to get out to the world. And he can touch your heart that way, like no one that I've ever known. That's something that I think is really special. So the Envision training, or the culture training that Tyler's going to do on the Friday here at the Gold Coast, is something you absolutely don't want to miss. It's very, very powerful training. And it's such an important part of what we're about.
Yeah, so I had one of my new associates with me, and he hasn't been in network marketing before, hasn't been to one of these events before, but just at the end of that session, and at the end of hearing from all of the execs, he just said, wow, this company is amazing. He expected to go into this meeting with all the rah-rah and the lights flashing and music going, and just to get the feel from those guys that, you know, there are a lot of ethics behind this company, just getting a feel for who the company is. He walked away and just said, wow, I'm all in. I need to be a part of this. I would recommend it to anyone. I really would.
You're coming out. You're going to be at this Envision with Cristina, correct?
I will be.
Oh, great. Well,
yes.
I encourage you all to go and say hi to Matt. He's an amazing person, and we've had the pleasure to meet him first time over in Dallas. So for somebody that's not that familiar with the industry, he's completely taken off, and both he and Cristina are formidable for us. Yeah, we're so excited you're part of the team, and thank you very much, Matt, for sharing this with us, because a lot of people on the line may not have been to an Envision event, and to understand what they're actually getting is really important, because it's worth every cent. And you're a new associate. In terms of taking somebody with you, how much of a difference has that made?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he's taken it. He's really run with it now. So it's amazing. Yeah, I wish I had more of them there, to be honest with you.
Please listen and take note to exactly what Matt said, because this is something, you know, even just for people to have a look underneath the tent and see what we're all about, this will give them that picture to do that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us
today, Matt. Yeah. Thank you. We'll maybe call you back later when Christina's up. So thanks, Matt.
So
cheers.
We'd like to move on to David He. David, I know now it's the Chinese New Year. There's all sorts of things happening. David, I'm not sure if you're there. Oh, perfect.
Thank God, I just finished the meet. Just right in the right time.
Oh, perfect.
It's the Chinese New Year in Melbourne, so we're doing a big carnival thing set up in helping the community set up the Chinese New Year thing.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
And by the way, David, congratulations on, we saw that you're on the top of the EMP bonus awards and other incentives as well. So congratulations, you're rocking
thank you.
Love to hear your thoughts on getting to the big events, what your goals are for this new year, and any advice that you give to people getting started.
Is there any chance you can put your video on, David? You're a good-looking guy. You'll put us to shame. Come on.
Cool. Just give me one second. I'm just.
There he is.
That's better.
It's in box 2. So we actually today is actually the New Year. So yeah. So I'm gonna switch my video off maybe.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. With next week this time we'll have a ASEA booth also set up in one of the area, Hawthorne Arts Center, where my team sponsor the whole like a kiosk. So there will be all the products, and my team will be there giving free products, but getting some prospect there as well. So yeah. All right, anyway, so I better get a start. So my goal this year is obviously the you know, before end of this year, I will have to hit up at least one more rank, and that rank is actually very hard to achieve. I know that, but it's probably not going to be as hard as I try to achieve diamond. But that one's ambassador diamond is pretty hard to achieve. It requires a lot of work on my individual teams, but you know, it's one of my goals, and hopefully by end of the year, not just by achieving that, but also you know, will be the same level with Richard Lee. that's even harder to achieve. Try to match up with my upline. Yeah. But yeah, that's my goal. So well, like Dan said, I was, you know, previously Dan said that this morning, it's just really important that I also give myself a daily goal and weekly goal to get up. Just try to when there's nothing happen, just kind of force yourself to give somebody a call or even just meet up for coffee. You know, just even they're not interested. There's a lot of times that people just say, look, I'm not interested in whatever you try to pitch me, or you know, I say, look, that's okay. We just have a coffee. If you don't like the things, if you don't like this product or idea, the business, it's fine. We just, you know, just have a coffee. So I just try to push myself to do a lot of these kind of activities, and I try to have team training, which is every second day. You know, try to have a team meeting. I'm training for all my teams. So this is pretty much exactly what I do every day. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
lost it a bit, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in terms of Envision, I think everybody, if the people on this call that haven't been Envision, that they are definitely need to be, they definitely need to go, because what happened last year, that was actually my first Envision. That I was diamond by then already, but because it took me a very short time to becoming diamond, so I wasn't actually there for the Envision 2017. So 2018 was my first Envision, and I was pretty surprised by the result. I mean, just Taylor Norton speech is worth all the ticket and everything already, because he's such great motivation speaker and business speaker. And after you listen to his talk, and your perspective will change. And in this game, I think in network marketing business, your perspective view is the most important thing. And you can really switch your mind like in an hour, and you look at the business totally different way. When you look at the business different way, you were talking to people in a different way, then then suddenly your whole team, your prospecting skill is all different. So it's really it's amazing to be there last year, and hopefully to see more people this year. We're actually having around about 50 people in our team to go there this year. And I was telling everybody that last year, one of my team member, Fiona, went there. Well, last year we took about 10 people, and out of these 10 people, one become diamond, one becoming a couple of them becoming gold. So every time you bring people to the convention, there always will be some of the people in your team, and suddenly they switch, and once they switch, the momentum becoming just unstoppable for the entire year. Yeah, so that's what I got from last year, and suddenly we are very much looking for this year that we got our team. We got a lot of more people this year, so we're hitting about 50 people. So my goal for this year is try to, with under my team, I want to hit about 50 people there. We're actually quite close to the target now. We're actually around about 40 people to 45 people now. So we're still trying to inviting more people from Sydney and Melbourne, and there will be even people from Hong Kong to go there as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's
well done, David.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. And I'm excited to hear that people flying over from Hong Kong too.
From America.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, we got 10 people. So we got in my 2 individual team, we got 10 people, 5 of each from Hong Kong will be arriving in Gold Coast on the 14th. Yeah, very exciting. I just thought, you know, they all want to meet Dan. I was like, yeah, sure, just come, buy a ticket. Who doesn't want to hang out with Dan, have a dinner with Dan and Lourene and, you know, Bart and Mal, everybody, you know, they all, because a lot of them, they actually only see you guys, all the diamonds on the webinar, on the recording, which is not many people, not all of them actually met all of you guys. Yeah, so
well, you're
there's a great chance, it's going to be a good chance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're speaking at the Peak Performance event on the Sunday as well. So you're panel. So do you want to share a little bit about what you're moderating?
Sorry, can you see that question again? Can you ask that question again?
You're moderating a panel on the Sunday at the Peak Performance.
Yeah.
It'll be an Asian panel, is that correct?
Yeah, Asian. Yeah, like an Asian topic.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we just, well, I was told to prepare some questions. I would like to get some data from the company where the Asians, the existing country that sells kind of figures, and I want to kind of go through with everybody. But the most important thing is for people there to talk to the diamonds that Asian people. Understand, like, you know, because you know, in the countries in Asia, they are the most dynamic network marketing areas in the whole world. Everybody knows that. All network marketing companies want to go to countries in Asia. It is very hard, very competitive market. It's not actually, it's relatively easy than some of the market, but in terms of competitive, it's actually harder, a lot harder than countries like Australia or America, because literally there's network marketing company comes out every month. As an Asian person, you probably get pitched by somebody in your family or in the community every day. I mean, every week for network. Like last month, I was pitched by 2 people about. I was talking to them about ASEA, and they were talking to me about some other network marketing company. So it's like, you know, it's very common thing. It's people move in the industry in and out a lot quicker, a lot faster. So it's very different way to maintain. I think we want to bring up is it's easier to sign people up, but it's very difficult to keep the Asian team going, because the temptation from everywhere else is a lot colorful and a lot stronger than any other country. Yeah.
Well, it was interesting to hear you say that you're doing a training virtually every other day with your team. So you're staying very well connected, and you're not just bringing people in, but you're helping them to get started. And also it's exciting to hear what you're talking about in terms of the international expansion into the Asian market. And so, hey, if you're listening to this call and you don't know anybody in Asia, don't worry about it, because you know people who know people that do. And that's very important. I mean, that's the good thing about, if you know the ASEA compensation plan well, then you understand that our compensation design, that you don't need to know 50,000 Asian people. And all you need to take is one person that knows some Asian people, and you live there, and then your market will be open there. So David, thank you so much for joining us on the call, and you've shared some great words of advice and words of wisdom, and I can't wait to see you at Envision. And
no worries, I was very looking much to see all of the diamonds, everybody in Gold Coast. Yeah,
fantastic.
Happy New Year, David.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
No worries. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to move on now to Mr. Mal Sword,
Ambassador Diamond,
the legend.
That's right.
And and Mal, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on the upcoming event and this new year, and helping people get started.
Do you have, Mal, do you have 2 devices logged into the internet, logged into this webinar by any chance? Do you have 2?
Do I have 2 what, sorry?
Do you have 2 devices that are logged into the webinar?
There's some feedback.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
Maybe just turn the volume down a little bit.
I'm just on my laptop.
Okay.
If
But
you can turn the
I do hear funny noises every so often. When I don't know whether when you people come on, it's making kind of funny noises. So I don't know what that's about. But no, I'm just on my laptop. I'm not anything else.
Okay. It's good now.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Excellent. So let me kind of share. I kind of wrote down while I was listening to Doyle and David and Matt. I wrote down 3 things that at this time of the year I think are really critical for people to kind of get a handle. And number 1 is for a lot of people when I talk with them this time of the year, one of the things I mention to them or suggest to them is this going to be like Groundhog Year for you? Is it going to be another year like last year, like the year before, like the year before, like the year before? Because most people in life, they do Groundhog Year. They have the same experiences 50 times and nothing ever changes. Now, that can also apply in our industry. In fact, it very much does apply in our industry that people struggle with themselves to move on. And so they can often come around at the beginning of another year and kind of figure, well, is this going to be the same as last year? Am I going to end up in 2020 where I am in 2019? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. You won't change anything until you change you. And so the whole essence of our business is to change ourselves, change our thoughts. And I think oftentimes people think they can move on in a business without moving on in themselves, and that just won't happen. This is very much a business about self-mastery, about personal growth. Like many of us on the call, I also did not reach ranks last year that I was aiming at. And what I always do when I look at that is I always bring it back to me and say, well, okay, that's my lack of growth. But the reason I'm not ranking to where I want to rank is because of me. Because the rank is endemic in most cases, it won't be in all cases, but in 95% of cases, is really endemic of our personal growth and our personal development. And so if you want more, we have to become more. And so in order to be able to not make sure that 2020 isn't like, I haven't come anywhere since last year, it's like, you know, the little mouse on the wheel, he goes round and round and round, and a lot of the little mice are going really, really fast, but every so often they get off and they kind of look around and think, well, I didn't actually go anywhere. And you can do that in the networking industry as well. You can spin your wheels in this industry as well as you can in a job. And to a certain extent, we go through those phases, and that really is a warning sign, or at least it's a sign to us to say, okay, we need to make some changes. So if I haven't ranked to where I want to be, it's a little message to subconscious. Okay, then you have more to learn, you have more to grow, you have more to do, more to develop. And so where do we go from that? One of the other things that I just want to make an observation about is I think a lot of people, since I've been with ASEA, which is now 3 years, I think a lot of people, because of our technology is so unique, so incredible, I think a lot of people try and logic people into the business based on the significance of the breakthrough. You will never build a business like this on logic. This is all emotion. Which is why the major functions are so important, because people make big decisions at big functions. They don't make big decisions from talking to Mal Sword. They don't make big decisions really from talking to Bart and Melissa Kotter. They make big decisions at big events. These events are defining for people. They are the most defining events in our calendar. The big events that we run are where people come away and make decisions. So I'll just go back to why some people struggle with a business like this, because they understand the technology, but they're trying to sell the business. They're trying to sell the idea of the significance of the breakthrough. And all of that is logic. People won't overcome what they need to overcome to build a large organization on logic. This is all emotion. And this is all about getting a dream, something that you're passionate about, something that will move you beyond the number of no's that you're going to have to get in order to be able to build a large organization. And I hope that's not news to anybody. You're going to have to get some no's. Get the no's, and I continue to get more than my fair share. So what gets you past that is a very strong emotional reason. And I've been listening to a lot of information in the last few weeks about learning to align your thoughts with your feelings and expecting to bring into your life that you create in your mind and that you feel. So it's a sense of expectation. So it's about you get in life what you expect, not what you want. I don't doubt everyone on the call wants to be presidential triple diamond. I have no doubt that most people would like to be at that rank. But do you expect it? I have no doubt in the call, if you're ranking at Director 700, that you want to be gold or platinum. But do you expect it? Do you believe it? You see it in your mind and do you feel it happening? Because we get in life exactly what we expect and not what we want. In fact, wanting is not really that important. It won't really help drive you. It is a sense of expectation and aligning your thoughts and your feelings together. Let me just switch to Envision. This is our biggest event in the calendar. Once a year we run this event, and what I can promise you is that those of you that take the most numbers to this event will have the greatest growth in your organisation in 2019. Absolutely. I'll write that in blood for you. Those of you that don't go most likely will not make any money out of ASEA. The people that make the money are going to the event. In fact, the people that go to the event are probably the ones that don't need to go, and the ones that don't go are the ones that need to go. But it's the ones that take the most people. So if you're kind of on the call and you're thinking, well, I'm going, then the mission is to get 5 people there. The mission is between now and the 15th of February to get 5 people or 10 people. You know, stretch your thinking, stretch your mind, because that will set your business up. There's many people on the call that I'm working with who are bringing numbers already past what they thought they could accomplish because their mind has been stretched and they kind of understand, I think, the significance of bringing numbers to this event. So I've got people coming to this event who haven't made a decision. I've got people coming who are sitting on the fence, and I said, look, come and do your due diligence. This will cost you $150 to do your due diligence. If you're looking at any business, you're going to take figures and information to your accountant or your solicitor, and they'll charge you $1,500, $2,000. With ASEA, you can spend $150, and at the end of the weekend, you'll know. Either one way or the other, you'll know. And in fact, I believe that if they're there, at the end of the weekend, I'll be scraping them off the ceiling. But they don't know that. But my role is to promote. Because here's another thing I've learned over the 500 years I've been in the industry. The biggest promoters always have the biggest businesses. Always, always, always. So those leaders who take the most number of people to the event will be ranking up the fastest in 2019. Guarantee it. No question about it. People that make money are at these events, and the people that don't aren't. All the highest income earners in the country and the #1 income earner in the world will be there. I go to these events still to learn. The day I stop learning is the day I move backwards in my rank. So this is an industry where we never stop learning, we never stop growing. So for everybody on the call, let me just share this with you as honestly and as nicely as I can. If you are not there, this is not going to be a happening thing for you. I don't know any other way to say it, but it is vital that you attend this function. And here's another thing: in life, you can have excuses or you can get wealthy, but you won't have both. You've got to kind of choose one. And I'm not saying going to these things is convenient, but it will be the separation for you to help you to develop your organisation. Now, the third thing that I want to just talk about very briefly is personal growth. So one of the goals that I have this year is to spend 1 hour every single day on personal growth. Every single day, 1 hour. And 1 hour listening to an audible, 1 hour training my mind, 1 hour on YouTube, 1 hour every single day. It will be the most significant thing for pretty much everybody on this call, I believe. If you spend 1 hour a day, every day, 7 days a week on your mind and your mindset, then you will have phenomenal growth. You won't be in the same place. But go to the audibles to listen. So a lot of people go to the audibles and say, oh, listen to that, but they're not going to learn. Does that make sense? You can go to a book, you can read it, but then you ask somebody, well, what did you learn from that? Oh, can't remember. So it's about going. There's no point doing that. It's about going to grow. It's about, the wisdom of the ages is in these audibles. Most people on here want a bigger life, you want a better life, you want a more productive life, you want to be able to help more people, you want to be able to do more good in the world, you want to be able to change your life, change your home, change your address, travel more. Most people on the call want to have more, and then become more. The only way you're going to get this life that you want is to attract it into your world by changing your inner world, by changing your mind, your thoughts, and then you will attract it. And I promise you, when you get this right, the wealth will come to you so fast. As Bob Proctor says, you wonder where it's been hiding all these years. So those, I don't know if anybody can hear me. I mean, because I can't hear you, Bart. I can't hear you, Melissa. So anyway, I hope that helps.
That was brilliant advice. I love what you said. Now you don't get in life what you want; you get what you expect. I think that's such powerful stuff. Also, really talking about your role is to promote. And look, if you're in the States or if you're anywhere else, it's not necessarily this Envision event in the Gold Coast. We're talking about any big event. Of course, the convention coming up in Las Vegas is also another one that we really want to start promoting toward. And then, of course, the quarterly events. So anytime that you can get people to a bigger event where they can really see and feel, I like how you talked about, that moving past logic and getting into the emotion, the feeling. So absolutely brilliant words of advice, Mal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mal.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
We look forward to hearing from you on stage with Julie on the Sunday event, the Peak Performance Day event as well. So thank you for both of you. It's going to be exciting to see you both in action.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think Julie does too. I haven't actually started on my notes for that yet. Sorry, Jules.
They were Julie's notes that I got. It's going to be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, we're going to be able to have a look inside at the real numbers of what the masters have done. And
that's right.
Mel, you're going to be on that panel that I'm doing. So these are really great things that you guys want to learn from. So you and your people that you'll have there are going to learn some great stuff. And
just quickly, one thing that you said, Mal, that Tyler Norton says all the time is conviction sells and emotion buys. And that's basically what you're talking about. So at this event, you'll get both. All the events, but at this Envision Peak Performance event, you'll get both. So one last thing, just before we move on, you've mentioned audibles, you've mentioned reading books. Just give us a couple of your very top suggestions.
Do you mean in terms of books?
In terms of books, audibles, whatever it is that you're doing to build your.
The one that I'm reverted back to, it's kind of one of my all-time favorites, is on Audible. It's a book called You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Actually, it's by Bob Proctor and John Canary. It's in webinar. It's a seminar of the two of them, and it is the encapsulation of the wisdom of 50 years from Bob Proctor that he's compiled into this Audible, and I'm back on it over and over and over. And I must have listened to this 30 times. Every time I listen to it, I hear something I never heard before. And that's because hopefully I'm arriving at a different level where my comprehension and my understanding. Can I just add one thing, please? I meant to mention this before, and it was, I meant to mention this. When people set goals, they always set goals based on what they think they can do. That's not how you set a goal. You set a goal based on what you expect the universe to give you, based on the thoughts and the feelings that you can conjure. Setting a goal that you already know you can accomplish is not setting a goal. You have to set a goal and embed it into your subconscious that literally takes your breath away, that your conscious mind will say, there's no way on God's earth I can ever accomplish that. And yet you embed it into your subconscious and watch what happens. So don't go to the safety zone. Don't go into your comfort zone. You got to stretch yourself and learn these laws. When you learn these laws, I promise you, your life will elevate. Your life will change very, very dramatically. And that's what this organization needs. This organization needs another 20 to 50 ambassador diamonds in the next 18 months to 2 years. And we've got them there. They're already there. They're already in this organization now. And now we just have to grow people. That's all we do. You and I, all we do is grow people, teach people and grow our people. And this will be the largest organization for ASEA on planet Earth. It will be. It has to be. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent advice. There's a book that both Melissa and I have been reading called A Happy Pocket Full of Money that goes along those same ideas and philosophies that I would highly recommend to anyone too. Maybe later I'll just grab that and show people that book as well. But it's called The Happy Pocketful of Money. Interesting title, but thank you so much, Mal. It's great advice, and appreciate your input. Now we're going to move on to.
Thank you, Mal.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the incredible, wonderful Winnie Wong.
Gracious Winnie.
That's right.
So
Winnie's
diamond.
a true class act. So Winnie is a major leader in the Asian market. She lives in Sydney. Triple diamond, and Winnie, we'd like to congratulate you on all your success. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well. I think you're muted, Winnie.
I'll unmute you. Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, all right. So I'm a full-time housewife for over 30 years. So this journey, ASEA journey, is really amazing to me. And I really think that if I can do it, everyone can do it. And my journey starts in 2015. I joined ASEA in 2015 in January. And at that time, there was no big event at all, even medium event or small event. So I made a very bold decision. I decided to join the 2015 ASEA convention in Salt Lake City. And so at that time, I have never attended any convention or big network marketing meeting before. So because I want to find out more about ASEA. And in the convention, after listening to the sharing of the founders, the CEO, the presidents, and all those successful leaders, I really got a bigger picture about ASEA, the company, and also about the network marketing industry. And they really inspired me and impacted me. And listening to their vision, their wisdom, and their insights and idea changed my heart and my mind. And in the end of the convention, I make up my mind. I decided to commit myself to build the ASEA business. And so I really think that a big event is very important for people if they, no matter they want to find out whether ASEA is fit for you or not, or if you want to build the ASEA business. Ask yourself seriously, can you inspire your team members like all those speakers in the Envision? If not, then you need to leverage the event. Invite all your team members to go and be impacted and be inspired by all these extraordinary speakers. And so I think this is very important. And so I highly recommend anyone who didn't make up their mind to go or not, just buy a ticket right now.
Fantastic words of wisdom, Winnie. You pretty much single-handedly have launched the Hong Kong market. When I say single-handedly, you took your vision of expansion of ASEA for Hong Kong to the corporate executives and organised a special meeting a couple of years ago to ensure that Hong Kong was put on the map. And for somebody who's pioneered a new country, you certainly have seen it all, you've done it all. And for you coming on saying you're a housewife of 30 years, your business is gigantic and you now have countries that you've pioneered. So we're in awe of what you've been able to achieve, Winnie, and you're so gracious with who you are as a person. So to be able to let everybody know that they can do it too is really important, because we're all unique, we're all different, and your vision has really carried you through. So we again congratulate you on that. And also the way you're always at these events. So you're a great leader and a phenomenal example. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, I think Winnie exemplifies what Mal was talking about, is we get what we expect. And part of that is doing whatever it takes. And so, you know, even making the decision to fly to corporate when you came with your sister and saying, really making the case of why it was important to expand into the Asian market and doing those actions to step up to show them the leadership. And I think that we all need to really look at that in terms of our own business, of being the leader that we want to attract in our business. So excellent. Winnie, any final thoughts or your goals for this next year, or anything you want to share with us before we move on?
I think duplication is very important. Just like Mel had just shared, to grow people. So I need to learn more in this area, and also I want to build a better duplication system in Chinese, which still at the moment is not a very thorough system, and because we didn't have enough, no matter video or literature in Chinese, right? So I would like to build this area so that more people in Hong Kong or wherever, if they can't, they can't understand English very much, and there is no ongoing education for them. So yeah, so this year I will put a lot of time in building this duplication system and teach my downlines, for those, for in Hong Kong or in Australia about this. And also I want to build 2 diamond teams this year. All right. So if I'm helping my people to grow and become a diamond, so I am benefit too. So what is better than helping people and also helping myself to grow? So this is my goal for this year.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Winnie.
Thank you, Winnie. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy New Year. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and move on to the incredible, wonderful Wonder Woman. Lourene, are you with us?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, there she is. It's good to see you, Wonder.
Good to see you. It's great to connect with all of you, and it's a privilege and honour to be amongst so many wonderful leaders within our group. I mean, have a look at them all. What a leadership group we have. So good.
I think everybody knows you, Lourene, but just in case, I think we actually probably have some new people that may not. Lourene's a diamond distributor. She's an amazing background. 5-time world karate champion. She's also was a bodyguard for Russell Crowe and has been all around the world. She's an incredible inspiration. She gave one of the most amazing presentations last year at the Envision event. That was the talk of the convention and the event. So anyway, I just wanted to share a couple things. Let's see. Also,
and mother of 2 beautiful girls.
Oh yeah, and also the glacier on the gladiators.
Because I know you're embarrassing me. I thought we were talking about this.
Oh, you just got such an
what an introduction. Thank you so much, Bart. I really appreciate that. Oh, look, I just want to give some tips, I suppose, for 2019. I think you really need to put your end goal. Where do you want to be at the end of 2019? If you weren't happy with 2018, obviously you're going to make some changes. And, I just heard a little bit when I just jumped on late. As Mal Sword was saying, it's all about that personal development. And I suppose that's one big thing that I'm really working on this year. The beginning of January, I've done my vision board, I've done my affirmations, I've done my mission statement and where I want to be. I've put steps in place, my goals in place, where I want to go throughout the year. And I need to change some habits too. And I think a lot of us do have some bad habits or maybe not bad, but we have habits. And one of those things that probably is a good one to explain or go through is the first thing in the morning. I bet a lot of us reach for our phones straight away, go through Instagram, Facebook, feeding our brains with things that we don't really need to start off our day with. So I spoke about this not long ago on another call, but now I like to call it my miracle morning or my power hour. So when I wake up in the morning, I ask myself, who needs to be in my A game today? What are my goals and things I want to get onto today? And then I actually do some meditation. It goes for about 20 minutes. And then I do some affirmations. And then I go to the gym, work out what I need to do, come back. And then I get straight into my work priority that needs to be done in the morning. And just doing that, I feel so good. I feel like I'm getting ahead. I feel positive. My confidence is up. And that is a great thing to do. And one of the things, the books that I read to do that was called The Miracle Morning. I don't know if you are aware of that. I'll just show you quickly. Can you see that? Great little book. Okay, it just helps you how to get you started on your day. Another thing I did too, which I sent to my team, is this little PDF here. And if you want a copy of this is great. They just ask you what your affirmations, your vision, where do you want to be, what are your goals. It really sort of just gets your preparation and your mindset ready for 2019. And it just helps people clear a path, because I find a lot of people are stuck or don't know how to do it. Yeah, it's great to do goals, it's great to do affirmations and all this sort of thing, but how do I do that? So if you're not sure how to do that, get to one of your great leaders on this call and say, yeah, this is all really, really great information, but I don't know how to do it. And yeah, we're here to help you. So, you know, send us a message. It's not a stupid question to ask us. We want to here to help you. We want to see you up on the stage at Envision at the end of the year. Or sorry, let's say the convention end of the year, but also come up in February. We want to see you there as well to learn from amazing people. So many great insights, great people to build your culture with. Great little golden nuggets. And now that I've said golden nuggets, another great thing that I love and I've got a lot out of is Eric Worre's podcast. They are brilliant. He interviews some of the most powerful, not just network marketers, but business people from around the world. And the things that he picks up, or I've picked up, and even you can hear sometimes he just says, you know, he learns from it, is just incredible. Really, really worth listening to. They're short, lots of great information. So there you go. That's 2019. So I'm excited for what's going to happen this year for a lot of our team members. And if you have any more questions or anything, please just get back to one of us guys here, and we're happy to help out.
Fantastic. Well, we can certainly hear a theme here about personal growth, personal development, and it's really coming back to, you know, we get what we expect, and getting your head right in terms of getting those expectations down, getting your affirmations down. I love what you said about creating a vision board. So you're actually creating that emotion behind what you want to create. And I know you've been to a lot of the big events. I'm sure that you would agree that that's where people get inspired, catch a bigger vision, really feel like they're part of something bigger than just themselves, part of a team.
You've also achieved first place globally for Ascent as well, that Ascent trip, which no doubt changed your business, changed your life.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, you know, events are so important. And I suppose the average person that attends these events earns 10 times more than the average person that doesn't go. So ask yourself the question, do you want to earn 10 times more than you are now? Yes, then get to the events. Simple.
And you're speaking at the Peak Performance Training Day. Do you mind just sharing a little bit about your topic?
Social media. I'm definitely going to talk mainly about Facebook. I'll just keep it like tips, how to build your business on Facebook, how to get new prospects. I'm sure there's a lot of us there that you've tried your friends, you've tried your family, and you've tried talking to lots of people, and you just can't find new people how to talk to or who to talk to. I'm going to show you how you can do that on Facebook really easily.
Fantastic. And I know that you really took to heart something that Bert said years ago. A while back, he said, you know, when you earn money, create memories and experiences, and you've been able to create some great experiences with your girls and stuff because of this vehicle. So that's fun to be able to watch. So we want everybody to be able to see and achieve that too. So Lourene, thank you so much for joining us on the call.
Thanks, Lourene. We're excited about your year.
Yeah.
See you soon.
All right. Now we would love to hear from the incredible Cristina Sword
and Matt. Still on? So thank you for being here this morning. Just in time. That's called multitasking.
I am in the kitchen making breakfast for 4 boys that just whip back. So now they're going to be so nice and quiet.
So
well done.
So Cristina has just, we've been so impressed with how you've just stepped up and taken such an incredible leadership role. I know that you've said, you know, hey, if you don't know how to do something, just you figure it out, and you just say, put your hand up if anything's asked. We can always, you know, you're willing to help and do whatever you can anytime. And we've always just so appreciated and respected your leadership that way. So love to hear your thoughts in terms of, the Envision event coming up, your goals for this year, what you would recommend and advise people moving forward and achieving their goals.
Sure. Well, it's been great so far to hear from everybody. You know, just so wonderful, so inspiring. Winnie, you're amazing. Such a fan. Lourene, always big hugs. We learn so much from Malcolm constantly. David, you know, it's just wonderful to be working together and collaborating. And of course, the great Dan Doyle, who's just continues to just take over the world. You know, in terms of Envision, I'd like to just say that when Matt went to Envision, you know, a couple of weeks ago, he was texting me from the, well, just a couple of them from the beginning of the Tyler session, and his text message literally was, just for this alone, you would be worth 10 times this ticket, like just for that section alone. And I know that, you know, the people that we put into the event, as Lourene just said, the statistics are that they will rank advance 5 to 7 times more in that coming year than people who don't go to the event. They will out-earn the people who don't go to the event. And in terms of the event, I'd like to just clarify, like, we don't actually make anything, by the way. If you're brand new going, why are they so keen on getting me to this event? Like, this is, I pay for my ticket too. Like, it's, you know, there isn't any gain. This isn't, we don't get points. We don't get PV for people there or anything. Literally, we're working to encourage people to go to the event because we know there's a thin line of, you know, we know that the setup for the year happens at these events. I can look back and look at the people who moved forward last year and they're at the event. It doesn't guarantee anything. If you're at the event, it's still not a guarantee that you're going to go, you know, triple ambassador. But I can pretty much guarantee that if you're not at the event, it's not going to happen. Because here's the thing. If you're negotiating on such basic things as being, it's kind of like this, if you have a job or you've opened a restaurant, saying, I don't know if I'll show up at my restaurant. I don't know if I'll show up at my job. Then if you're negotiating at that level, but you still expect this to treat you like a business, then it'll negotiate back. It's just really simple. If you do something and if you're investing into something, it's going to reap rewards. So when it comes to success in anything, this would be my sort of two-bob, and it involves the function as well, that everybody has dreams, everybody has goals, and we all have things that we want. That's not new. The difference is how committed we are to those goals. That's it. And in terms of what's going to happen this year, the year's going to click through anyway. And here's the thing, you're going to pay a price anyway. Like, we're all going to pay a price. Failure has a price, success has a price. There's no denying that this business is going to take some serious amount of effort. I say to people, you know, you've just kind of got to rip the Band-Aid off and stop expecting that it's going to be a breeze. It's going to stretch you physically. It's going to stretch you because you'll be tired. It's going to stretch you emotionally. It's going to stretch you, you know, your courage. It's going to stretch your time. It might stretch your family. But it's for a short time. Having a job for 45 years is also going to stretch your time, your family, your emotion, your health. But either way, there is a price that's going to happen. You've just got to pick what you'd like to pay for. So my recommendation, my kind of hot tip for the year, we lost a little bit of momentum. I think just like I'm just being honest, you know, over the Christmas break, we tried not to, but the reality is that those, you know, that first week of January was kind of like tumbleweed. And so my recommendation is how to get things going, as Tony Robbins says, just a massive burst of activity. So whatever your usual goal is, if it's like, I'm going to reach out to 5 people a day, double it just for 30 days, you know, just for 30 days, just double it. Like right now for myself, I've set a goal to make 10 quality contacts every single day, Monday through Sunday, 10 quality contacts. And I write them up. You guys have seen this. I write them up on a piece of paper. I write down the numbers, you know, and so far I've done 1. I write down the numbers and I can't go to bed until that's filled in. And it doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m. There are time zones that are open. There is LinkedIn. There is, it doesn't matter if I know them. I just know that if I commit to 10 contacts a day for 30 days, there's no possible way that something doesn't happen.
That is impressive.
Brilliant, Cristina. We love your drive, your passion, and your ability to go and get things done. So you are an absolute inspiration to your team. I know you've got a large European organisation as well, and we're excited to hear from you too on stage and the Peak Performance Training Day event as well. You're speaking with Dan, correct? You're sharing with Dan.
I'm so actually scared to speak to Dan.
It'll be phenomenal. And you're talking about objections, the importance of overcoming objections. So that's a phenomenal topic.
It's actually the content that Dan and I are putting together. I'm really excited about it. Like, obviously, Dan has, you know, he must know what he's doing in this, because if you stand in front of Dan, you're pretty much an associate. So so he knows how to overcome objections, and we're constantly learning. I'm going to Envision to learn. You know, I'm going there to sharpen up the, sorry, that's my dog, to sharpen up the toolkit, to get re-inspired. I get drained, I get tired, I get, you know, discouraged, even though our dreams are strong, and Matt and I have some big goals for the year, but I'm going to Envision to get fed, to feel me.
Well, look, a couple things that I really just loved what you said was we pay the price anyway. And people often don't look at that. You know, what is the price that they're paying for for not taking action in their business? You know, I love what Ed Wayne said years ago. He said, the time to dig your well is before you're thirsty, before you need it. And so the thing is, we all have challenges and obstacles that come up in our life, but when a real crisis comes up, wouldn't it be great to be able to have a business that had a good, solid residual income that we could rely on? And so the idea of creating, and this is such a powerful thing that you said, all out massive action, doubling your efforts for 30 days. You can do almost anything for 30 days in these bursts of energy. I tell you, when you really think of it, you can concentrate your effort and think, you know, I can do this for 30 days.
Yeah.
I can really focus and concentrate my effort, and you know, let the laundry pile up or whatever it is that you do, but just put that action there. And to be able to show us that list of what you're doing before bed, the fact is that we do have, you know, we can contact people 24 hours a day, literally, because there are people in other time zones. And of course, with social media and different things, we can always contact people, text people, and then get the messages and follow up. So great words of advice. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate your input.
And we're excited about the destiny that you and Matt have together, personally, but also in this business. You're a phenomenal team. So thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for all you guys do. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cristina.
Now we're going to move on to the amazing, incredible Julie Watts.
Thanks for joining us, Julie. So we're always excited to hear from you, and you had a great year last year.
Yeah, pretty special. Hopefully this year will be just as big, if not bigger.
Oh, absolutely, because Julie, for those of you who may not know, she reached the Diamond Executive rank whilst she was working full-time in her real estate business. So to say that you were busy is an understatement, but the only way that you were able to get to Diamond is what Dan was talking about, what we've heard from the others too. You were focused on income generating activities. You focused on what mattered, not what was important, but what mattered, because you cannot juggle 2 full-time jobs essentially and keep the Diamond rank. So we'd love to hear a bit about your story and where you're headed this year. Also maybe touch a little bit on the Ascent trip that you won and how important that was to you.
And I believe that now you've got kind of that new freedom where you're doing this full time.
Yeah, I am actually, yes. I'm very excited about being able to do it full time. Working 2 full-time jobs before was pretty amazing. And even literally over the last week, I said to Graham yesterday, I have no idea how I did this part-time, like, you know, with another full-time job, because ever since I stopped, I've been really busy with ASEA, and I'm thinking, how the heck did I ever list houses and show houses and do open houses at the same time? It's like, already I'm going, how did I do that? So obviously I've got busier spending more time with ASEA. So hopefully that will show up this year with my goals, because I have some goals obviously to rank advance a couple of times this year. So hopefully that will happen. But Mel and I are talking about momentum at Envision. So I interestingly, to do that talk, I did a little bit of background work on my business, looking at my business, stuff I didn't even realize, because I'm one of those people who I just do. I believe if you just do every day, things happen. And I don't look back a lot, and I don't think about where I came from. I always look at where I'm going. And I've been like that all my life. But I had to look back to just look at some figures and stuff to look at the momentum of my business, because I needed to talk about that. And, I started in 2015 as a product user. And that was April. And I didn't even enroll anybody until July 2016. So it was over a year before I did anything. I went to conference that year. And, I did my first Envision the next year, but I committed. I made a decision, which, everybody on the call, if you don't make a decision to build an ASEA business, you're never going to build an ASEA business. You have to really decide in your heart and in your head to do that. And when I did that, things changed. Literally, I was a Director 700 in 2016, and I made, just under $2,000. The next year I was platinum, made over $100,000. The next year I was diamond and made over $200,000. I mean, that's momentum. That's just going, okay, I've made a decision. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And, that's what I did. But literally, it's really important that the going to these events have changed my life amazingly. Like I've at conference 16, 17, 18 in Dallas, Envision in 2017. I didn't make last year because I was directing a play that was on that weekend, and the director had to be there, but I was really cranky the whole weekend because I really didn't even want to be at the play I was directing. I wanted to be at Envision with my team, because I had some team members there, and last year I had a few team members there, and I wasn't there because I just couldn't be. But this year I've got lots more team members coming to Envision, and I'm really, really excited about Envision, and I'm really excited at what that's going to do for them in the next year as well. Ascent, I went on the Ascent trip to the Bahamas cruise in 2016. It was an amazing thing, and the next year I was number one for the one in Mexico, which was the most incredible thing. ASEA is an amazing company to be involved with. You have every opportunity to do the very best and be the very best you can be with this company, because the company's ethics are amazing. We have an amazing team of leaders here, as you can see, and we all work together. We all share everything, and we're all happy to pick up the phone for people. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, I think that's really important for everybody to understand. You're not alone. You're in a team, and this team is here to help you. And that's, one of my biggest goals for next year is to help my team rank advance. I have more time to do that now, so that's big for me. I don't know if everybody understands on the call either, the momentum that ASEA is in at the moment, like a 50% growth last year and a 53% increase in enrollments. I mean, my God, we are really at the start of that J curve. And anybody that's in ASEA right now has the most amazing opportunity ahead of them if they want to make the decision to do that. The decision is just all important, and it has to be a real decision, not well, maybe. It's got to be a decision in your subconscious, in your head, in your heart, to just go out and make it happen. I have quite a few goals for next year, some personal ones. But also to rank advance and to really help my team rank advance, because none of us rank advance unless our teams are rank advancing, and we're all here to help everybody do that. I've made a new mind movie that I watch constantly. I have things stuck on my bathroom mirror. I have things stuck on my fridge. Just constantly seeing and being reminded, what I'm here for. And And you know, the biggest thing for me, I think, is, you know, make a decision and get to Envision. As everybody here has said, you know, if you're on this call, you should be at Envision. Don't miss it, because if you don't, you won't be where you want to be at the end of the year. I think that's just really important. The peak performance training that all of these guys here are going to give you that day is invaluable. It's really important. You know, Mal talked about books and audibles, and I listen to audibles all the time. And while I've been on this call, I've downloaded You Were Born Rich, because I haven't got that one. And I even tried to get A Happy Pocket Full of Money, but it's not on Audible. So I'll have to go find the book. But yeah, everybody just get to Envision, get to, I have literally not missed anything other than the one that I just couldn't get to. And it's really important to be at those events. So, you know, get there and watch your world change, basically.
Impressive to hear what you said about just making the decision, and once you made that decision, how things moved for you. And despite the fact that you had a full-time job where you were full on, and I think that goes to show that anybody can do this. It's just a matter of making that decision and fitting it into the nooks and the crannies until you can create that space, that freedom to go full-time if you want to, if that's your choice. If you're happy doing what you want and you want this to be an additional source of income, you know, make that happen. I also love what you talked about in terms of momentum, because we really are at a very special place. Eric Worre talks about this momentum phase. If you're fortunate enough, he says, to be in a company that's moved into that momentum, he says that's the time to run. Don't coast. You don't want to just try to ride on the coattails of that momentum, but that's the time to run like crazy to build your business, because that's going to make all the difference in the world. So, and again, the same theme, you're working on your mindset. You've created a mind movie, a vision board. You're putting things out, and you're expecting the results. And I no doubt you're going to get it. You said you're going to rank advance a couple levels, so that would be triple. Already got that goal. Can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Julie. You're welcome. Thanks for all your help, all of you. Great people. Thank you.
Pleasure. You're absolutely a go-getter, and you're a team player and a lot of fun to work with. So thanks for joining us today, Julie, and say hi to Graham.
So we just got a couple more, and now we get to hear from the amazing Alan Fitzgerald. Alan, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Alan, I have a feeling that you know, that ASEA has changed your life. I know you've gone through some pretty challenging times in the past. You've beat your head on the wall with a couple of other things, and you've really seen the success with this, and it hasn't been by any small accident. You've been a hard worker. You've been out there talking with people. You've faced your fears, and we'd love to hear your thoughts about Envision, what your vision is for this next year, and your words of advice.
Yes, look, I had been in this profession before, but never achieved any success. I worked pretty hard, and I'll never criticize the company I was with, because I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to contact people and all those things, but there was still something missing. And when I got involved in this business, and through a series of events, I met Mal, and I knew who Mal was. I knew how successful he was, how he could teach people and train people and lead people. And I said to him very early in the piece, I said, if I'm doing something wrong, you can tell me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. You haven't got to sugarcoat it. I mightn't like it, but I can take it. So I gave him permission to tell me and to be tough with me. And Mel was tough with me, but I'm just grateful that he cared enough to be tough with me. And he taught me that I had mind blocks. I had barriers in my mind from the other business, from trying to do things and not succeeding. I was shooting myself in the foot. And he explained that you've got to be very, very clear in your mind what your goal is. If you just focus on the work, you'll struggle. If you've got a goal, if you've got a dream, you'll breeze through it. And he also explained, and I think he said before, that I'll get out of life what I am. I attract to me what I am. I'll get out of life what I expect. And so I went to the Envision, like, as we know, Mel's a great promoter. I'd only been in the business a few days when I met you both up at Noosa, because Mel got me to go up there to meet you. And I was so impressed with you guys. I was so impressed with the company. And then a few weeks after that, the function down the Gold Coast in February was on. I don't know whether they called it Envision then, but I went to that, and that opened my eyes. you know, how big this was. It was just unbelievable. And I didn't go to convention that year because I couldn't afford it. I had financial struggles from things before, and I couldn't afford it, but I wanted to go. But I haven't missed a function since. And 2018, I went to Envision as a gold, and it was a floppy gold, and I went diamond in September. So that's how things can change. Amazing. It's just making a decision, but also listening to your upline and not making excuses. Sometimes when we've all got, I would imagine everyone else has got people in their group that as soon as you talk to them, oh yeah, but it won't work in my town, it won't work here. Like, it's just listen to the people who've done it, because we all work in the same market. We're all talking to the same people, although some of us are aiming up a bit higher than others, but we're working in the same market. So if anyone on this program that today can go diamond, anyone else can do it if they're teachable. But not everyone's teachable. Not everyone will learn. And when we work with people, sometimes we get close to them and they won't listen to us. So one of the great things about getting them to Envision is you might have been telling someone something half a dozen or a dozen or 50 times, and you get them to Envision and somebody else tells them the same thing in different words. All of a sudden they hear it. And they come home and you can work with them all of a sudden. It's just unbelievable. Getting people to a function is phenomenal. And when they go to there, they'll make a decision one way or another. They'll make a decision that they're either in or out, and you haven't got to muck around anymore. Just get them to a function. That's what I'd say. So the most important goals that we can work on from now for the next few weeks is getting people to a function. I was talking to a fellow yesterday morning, and he was telling me how bad things are, and he's 60-year-old and he can't get a job. And by the time I've spoken to him for a while, he's coming to the function. That'll change his life. And that's what we've got to do. So my suggestion would be the most important thing between now and Envision would be to get people there, because it will change their lives and it will change your business.
Absolutely. I think, you know, Tyler Norton talks about those as defining moments, those pivotal moments in our life that have set you on a whole new path. And a number of people have talked about how the big events have been that defining moment for them, where the big decisions are made at big events. So, you know, this conversation with this guy who just is struggling, this absolutely could change his life. So it's great feedback. I love it.
And also, Alan, you've been very happily married for many, many years. And I know that you had said to Leanne when you first married her that you were going to help her, well, support her so that she didn't need to work. And part of your goal this year, would you like to share it with us? What's happening this year?
Yes, 100% right. We had our 33rd wedding anniversary on the 30th of December, the same as yours. And I told my wife when we got married that she shouldn't have to work. I should be able to support us. And I've never done that. I've always worked, but I've never been able to earn enough money to support myself, my wife and my kids. And she will quit work this year, and she will never have to work again. And other things that have happened, before I got in this business, the only time I'd been out of Australia was I'd been to Bribie Island. And, and in 18 months, I've had 3 overseas trips. And my wife has never been out of Australia. Sorry, let me go back a little bit. Before the Caribbean trip, I didn't have a passport, and Mel got on my case about getting a passport, and I'd resisted that. But Mel's he's fairly persistent for anyone who works with him. And he got on my case about getting a passport. He said, if you haven't got a passport, you're not going. So I got the passport, and guess what? I went to the Caribbean, and I had 3 trips last year. 3 trips in 18 months. And this year I got on my wife's case and got her to get a passport. And she will have 4 trips overseas this year, and she's never been out of Australia before.
Wow. Watch out, Will. That's very exciting.
That is so cool, Alan. I tell you, you are an absolute inspiration, and you know, you're just a perfect gentleman and perfect example of, hey, if you can do it, you know, anybody can do it too, and that's and I mean that as a compliment.
And there's very few people in our organisation who are as good at getting people to events than you, Alan. So you arrange a lot of events and get people from around the country to come into your beautiful town in Toowoomba, and we really recognize that and honor you for that, because you're unstoppable. You're like a dog on a bone in a good way, and you know how much I love dogs. So, so well done, and we're excited about your journey this year, Alan, and all your success. You deserve it.
Absolutely. So
thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got one more special guest on here that we'd love to bring on.
Two more, hopefully.
Yeah, Sepp and Jesca. Sepp and Jesca, if you're with us, if you're there, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for hanging in there, because it's Jesca's birthday today.
Oh, that's right.
So
happy birthday
to Jesca. And congratulations.
Thanks,
yeah, it's fun. So hopefully you've planned to, I know it's just started raining here. I don't know about where you two are. Is it raining there?
No, not yet. It'd be nice for some rain. We definitely need it for our drinking water. So
that's right. Well, it's coming your way, but hopefully you've got a beautiful day planned and enjoy every moment. Happy birthday again, Jesca.
So the incredible Sepp and Jesca, love to hear from you, your thoughts and wisdom about Envision, your goals, advice.
Your year.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Just listening to you all, we really love all you guys, and you all have so much beautiful wisdom to share, and you've all got really good hearts, and that's what this business is about. And it's okay to be, it's okay to talk about money. We're so grateful that last year was a pretty big year, you know, for people being through a big health challenge. I actually took a fair bit of time off behind the scenes, and Jesca took over, and having a six-figure income, you know, and I'm going to be okay to say this is, if I was doing my original job, I would have shut down projects, you know, not being able to get paid, you know, letting people down, trying to build a house for them, and schedules running out because I couldn't be there for them. But seriously, you know, I really want to shift some of my languaging, because the opportunity itself, not only to make a difference, not only to reach out and help people and all of the humanitarian side of it, but to be able to financially take time off when we really need to be in our own space for healing, and have the finances to do that. It's really awesome. So,
hey, Sepp, you know, there's some new people on this call that may not have heard your story. And if you could just share, just briefly, of course, politically correct in terms of sharing that, but I know the products have made a significant difference for you in helping you to kind of get through that. Do you mind just sharing your story real quickly?
Yeah, well, 4.5 years ago, I think, maybe a little bit more, September 2014, Melissa rang me. And at that point in time, we'd just moved back to Noosa, and we were going through a pretty tough time, not only, you know, financially from a, you know, a work situation, but also from a health. And, you know, I'm a surfer, my background was a builder. So 13 years ago, living here in Noosa, I went head first into a sandbar, and I broke my C6, and whoops, sorry. Yeah, that's okay. I actually, that's what happened. Not making any claims, but the journey of, you know, so committed to be healthy and live healthy, $100,000 later in 10 years with zero results. And then 6 months using the redox molecules, my body had a chance to repair and heal itself. That's what got us. And then Bart and Melissa got us on a three-way call a Zoom call actually, with Chuck and Tammy. And it was a week from the 2015 convention in Salt Lake City. And that, you know, we had to move out of our house because we were changing. We'd just moved back to Noosa. So we just packed up house. We had nowhere to live. We were going through a bit of a tough time. And Bart and Melissa, in their wisdom, knew a lot more than what we did by bringing in their upline to just inspire us. And we organised the money. It was a big investment, and we went to that event, that big event in May 2015 in Salt Lake City. And that decision, we were Director 700s then, and that changed our lives forever. We became solid as a couple in doing it together as a business. We still had a few things we needed to sort out, but that was a defining moment for the rest of our lives. And
if I hadn't gone to that event, it would have taken me probably another year until there was an event another big event for me to engage, because that event changed everything for me. A little bit like what Winnie was saying, to meet corporate, to understand what this company is about, to see that the ethos matched who we are and that I could align myself with them, and to know that this network marketing business model is actually real, and that we could really live with this and make it a go. So yeah, that event. So I can also say to everybody, if you're not sure, now be sure, because it will change your life and you will be making decisions if that's what you want to do. And these events, like what Mel Sword and everybody touched on and spoke about, it really is an experience that that can change your life.
Yeah, I think just for big events, you know, I don't know who said it, but I think Alan said it. Here we're teaching our team, sharing, inspiring, doing the best we can, and we're putting our best foot forward. And we could be saying the same thing for a whole year. They go to a big event and they hear, it could be one sentence from somebody that says it in a way that connects to their heart, and the lights come on, and that person could go out there and change the world. And that's only going to happen in an environment where you're surrounded by a collective of people's experiences, their love, their vision. And what I do know is that, you know, I'm only a short ass, you know, I can only see so far when I'm standing on my little short legs, but when I hop on someone else's shoulders, I can see a little bit further. And these big events, they create a space for all of us to look into a further horizon that maybe we never thought about before or couldn't see. And I just know that we're eternally grateful for you, Melissa and Bart, for inviting us. I'm still on this planet because of that decision and that reaching out. And I'm sure every one of us have all got an amazing story. But
what Bart was asking also, that event that we had last year, that was a diagnosis for Sepp that was really not very good. And basically it was very, very aggressive and had to be cut out. And I was not really sure whether he would still be on this planet. And because of its nature, of its possibility of traveling around the body. And anyway, so yeah, as he said, he went off and turned off. Well, I told him to. And
pretty hard.
Thanks to these amazing molecules, and of course, discipline with good food and positive thinking, where he's here and we're here. But to be able to actually do and carry on financially, just amazing to be able to turn off and you still get paid on a monthly basis, thanks to our amazing team.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Mel, I just want to back up everything that you've said, Mel. Jesca and I, we probably spend 2 hours every single day. And Julie, yes, we've got a mind movie from mindmovies.com. We've got our own presidential mind movie going. It's really fun. We listen to it every day.
Yeah, if you don't know what this is, it's mindmovies.com. Definitely check it out. It is so much fun to put together and so much fun to watch a little movie every day, several times a day.
So we meditate every single day. We're reading books. We're on Audible. And well, I've been doing that most of my life, but it's really amped up another level, connecting with great thought leaders and mentors. You know, all of the people that have been mentioned, they're in our daily repertoire of, and 100% we commit to a minimum of 2 hours a day. I know it's a lot, but we know that for us to become the people we need to be able to inspire and to influence, to be presidential diamonds, we have to grow. And we're committed to that because we're committed to ASEA and its mission. And our goal for this year, just because I heard everyone else mentioning their goals, we intend to be Ambassador Diamonds by the end of the year. We don't know how, but we can feel it. We're intending
all
it.
that massive action for us this year.
So it's
and there's nothing holding us back. We can get off much of the island as we want now. So look out, we're on our way.
Yeah. And you're
thanks for the time.
Great. No, thanks for joining us. And you're both speaking on stage at this event on Sunday at the Peak Performance Training event on building as professionals. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really excited to hear what you've got to say.
That's a big one. We can't wait to hear it. Absolutely. And we're so glad that after all that, the surfing and the sun, being out in the sun doing construction, that sun damage, you were able to conquer your challenge. So.
And when it comes to journaling and planning, scheduling and making stuff happen, you two really are amazing visualizers, and that's a great message for everyone to hear too, because it's great to plan and schedule, but if you can't, like Mal said as well, if you can't see yourself and visualize it and feel it and know it, it's going to be a harder, longer road. So if it takes 2 hours to set your head up right every day and to really manifest your dreams, it's the best 2 hours of your day. So thank you both for sharing, and go and celebrate your amazing birthday, Jesca. Have a wonderful
I just to echo what you said in terms of that decision that you made to come across to Salt Lake City to the convention, truly, it takes away anybody's excuse, because you didn't have the time, you didn't have the money, your life was literally upside down, and you just made the decision to do it anyway. And so I would definitely take Sepp and Jesca's advice, get to the events, and you'll want to hear what they have to say at the event as well too. So thank you very much for joining us on the call today. Really glad that you could. Again, happy birthday, Jesca. And
we've covered the leaders that we've featured so far today. We've just got just over 10 minutes left till we usually schedule off, but I don't want you to go anywhere, because it's really important just to have a look at some of the announcements coming up, some of the events, and just stay tuned into a couple of updated tools. So,
and then we'll have you just to help us wrap up things at the end also, Danny. We'd love to hear from you at the end.
Fantastic. So let me see.
I'm just going to pull up.
Go back to the PowerPoint. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some really important things you guys want to listen to that's coming up.
Just to let you know that these intro sheets, which was originally the idea of John Firth from Melbourne, who gave me the idea of pulling together this type of concept for everybody's benefit. Suzanne Grist has helped to update this back page here, and she's been the visual creator of this document. So thank you to Suzanne and John. Use this document. We've updated it with the latest income disclosure statement figures that, as I mentioned earlier in the webinar, are now in your virtual office in the library under the business forms. So all these figures are updated for the monthly income. So just be sure to use this document any way you like. You don't have to go left to right. You can choose to tailor whatever presentation you'd like to give from this document. And the compensation plan part is quite generic, but it's just to give a very simple overview. And in our suggested reading list here, thank you to Maria Hopwood, who sent us the link for the Happy Pocket Full of Money. So this is the book we live by. It's our Bible. It goes everywhere with us, essentially, and it's really helped to change our lives when it comes to our mindset.
Half of this thing is highlighted, underlined, reading it through for the third time now.
Absolutely. And just to remind everybody again, this is just briefly run through these slides. Make sure you enroll people with enrollment packs as much as possible, because you're setting them up for success. And these packs they're limited, so they will be changing no doubt throughout this year. So just make sure that you're aware of the enrollment packs and the increase in loyalty reward points that go with those. And here's a copy of the USA packs. Of course, they have ASEA VIA in them as well. For us, we're still ordering from the United States through the Not for Resale program, and the Therapeutic Goods Administration are still scheduling a visit to the manufacturing facility in Utah, or I think it's in Utah, excuse me, to be able to take forward that approval process so we can get the ASEA VIA out here sooner. Yet again, for those of you who may not be aware, there's different ways that you can earn loyalty reward points. You saw from earlier with the Fast Forward and Fast Forward Plus Achievers that you can get loyalty points that way, as well as on auto ship, enrollment packs, and as a one-time bonus on your first auto ship order. So it's a fun way to get free product, and you can send the product anywhere in the world from your loyalty account. It's been really a fun program.
Educate your new people on that so that they continue to stay on their auto ship. They understand the benefits of that. This is going to create the consistency and the residual, it's going to create the stability in your business.
Absolutely. So, of course, Bart and I are actually featuring next week as the Expert in the House webinar, which is Wednesday, the 6th of February. So we're excited to host that at 7:30 p.m. Queensland time. It's the one time per every Wednesday night with the Diamonds Around Australia coming onto those. So you can get the recordings if you miss it at redoxdiamonds.com. And Lourene has an event with Dr. Ray Dixon on Saturday, 9th of February. And by the way, if I'm missing any events that any of the diamonds that are on the line that you have coming up, please unmute and share with us what you've got going that I may not have the information on. So, of course, we've spoken a lot about the Envision today. ASEAevents.com is where you can go to get your tickets if you haven't already. The ticket prices have gone up, but as Matt Williams said, it's worth 10 times that amount just to hear Tyler speak, and he's featuring first on Friday the 15th.
And get them now before they go up again, because they'll
at the
they'll
door.
Go up. Yep.
Yeah, at the door there are, I can't.
Well worth the investment.
Yeah, it definitely goes up. And we've got Dr. Darren Weissman. He was recognised last year as ASEA's #1 top associate enroller and #2 top auto ship all-star. He's an incredible human being. He's a lovely guy to be around. He's a chiropractor. He's developed his own technique, Lifeline technique, that he travels the world educating people on, and he's a best-selling author and international speaker. So the early bird tickets, they've gone up actually since January 31st. They're now $94.98. So not until, but since the 31st. And get your tickets still, because you're saving, because at the door they're $105.53. The weird amount is because of the Eventbrite fee. So that'll be a fantastic lineup. Here's a screenshot I took of the program so far. So it's opening with Dr. Darren Weissman. We have Bart leading a panel. Justin Phillips will lead a panel on the power of testimonials. Bart's panel is on the power of enrolling. We've got Lourene on her social media, how to crush it in 2019 and beyond. We've got Cristina on how to handle objections. We've got Sally Diamond moderating a really great health professionals panel. David is talking on expand your team into Asian markets, and Winnie will be featuring on that panel. Sepp and Jesca building as professionals. Nicole Dennis will talk about the ASEA business coach. Mel and Julie on building momentum. Then Janine Babaskas will cover upcoming events, and Sally and Bart will close with a call to action. So an action-packed day, field run event on the Sunday, so make sure you stay around for that Sunday event. You can get some tools at the redoxworkshop.com shipped from Australia. So there was a lot of work put in by cross-line teams on this website, so be sure to check that out if you don't know about it already. You can order some great books that way. Save on shipping. So of course, May, we've got our Diamond regional events throughout Australia. Still need to get updated venues on those. But the Sydney event's been locked in for the 1st of June at Ryde Eastwood Leagues Club. Tickets not yet available as yet, but it'll be at aseaevents.eventbrite.com.au when they are. And of course, Ascent that we've spoken about. So that's the 11th to the 15th of June. Looking ahead, of course, convention. So get your tickets, because there's still savings. Actually, there's a code. There's a discounted code, I believe, for convention. So I have to find
that's going to be coming up. One of the things, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up right now. At the Envision event, there's going to be a discount code. But the other one is expired for the US. But there will be a discounted code, and those tickets are going to be, they offered this at the Envision in the US, and then it closed. So there will be a discounted code to get your tickets for the convention. So prepare your people, prepare, to get your ticket.
You're frozen, Bart.
Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dan.
All right, well, I'll jump in while these guys have been unfrozen. So guys, ask yourself a question. Do you know, or do I know, ask yourself the question, do I know where I'm going to be in 5 years' time? Do I know where I'm going to be in 3 years' time? Do I know where I'm going to be in 12 months' time? If you don't know where you're going to be in 12 months' time, have a look at where you are now, and that's more than likely where you're going to be. Now, if that scares you, if that puts the fear of God into you, use that fear to act. Use that fear to take action. We know what we've got our hands on, the most powerful product on the planet. We've got the biggest breakthrough in health science, anti-aging and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. We have got a company that ticks every single box with the leadership of the company, with our ethos, principles and values, with our compensation plan. We're in a really good place. Never ever doubt what we have our hands on. We have zero competition. We have zero competition in regards to what I just spoke about, but we do have competition. So when we finish this call, go and have a look at yourself in the mirror, and that's your only competition. If anybody's going to stop you from achieving your goals, it's going to be you. So you need to become the leader that you want to attract. Everybody follows the leader, and you've got to concentrate on putting your own oxygen mask on first. So become the leader that you want to attract. Sorry, guys, I've just jumped in. I'm just sort of closing before you guys close. That's all good. Become the leader that you, no worries, become the leader that you want to attract. People are going to follow what you do. If you take your foot off the gas, people will take their foot off the gas. If you look at another shiny object out there, something that's going to distract you, people are going to look at another shiny object out there as well. So guys, just make sure that what you're doing is an example for your team. And, you know, if you keep that up, I suppose if we go back to what a lot of people on this call said, with your own personal development, with growing yourself, with keeping up the activity, your team will follow what you do. And I'm sure if you keep that activity up and you do the right thing as far as becoming that leader that you want to attract, you and your whole team will achieve your goals this year. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Bart and Melissa.
Thanks for jumping in, Steve. I had no idea.
I wanted to thank you guys for putting on this call, for being such great leaders, and for supporting the whole team with everything you've done over the last few years as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. The beautiful thing about our success is it's because of each and every one of you. So we are eternally grateful. Our lives are so different, and we just feel, you know, honoured to be associated with all of you. So thank you very much for joining the call. I only had a couple of slides left, only because one I'll bring up is a screenshot of the upcoming webinars this year for the team that I think you might want to take a look at the dates on, simply because...
Just go back.
You want me to go back one? Yeah,
go back one. Look, we want to make sure that the most important thing is to stay plugged in, guys. And so grab a screenshot of this. If you are not getting the newsletters that we put out, or your team is, and when you bring on a new person, really encourage you to get plugged in. That's how we notify you as to what's coming up, other events that are happening. So
the newsletters have been a bit light on lately due to the holidays, but changed assistants. So there'll be more coming out here soon. So that's the link. And here are the other scheduled webinar dates for this coming year for our monthly leadership webinar. And see you on the 2nd of March. We wanted to make sure we thank all the diamonds for investing your precious time this morning to be on this webinar. Thank you very much for making it such a fabulous call. And we... what else was I going to say? And thank you for all of you for joining us from all around the world. And we know it's gone a bit long, but as you probably realise, it's worth every minute of hearing from these amazing leaders. So thank you for sharing your wisdom, your advice. You've set some really huge goals. We're excited to see you blaze that trail of success that you've set as a high bar for all of us. And thank you for who you are as people. We appreciate you and love you very much.
Absolutely. Let's rock 2019, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.